that the right one?
Alright, I'm gonna start so we can get the...
I think that's the
letting
right person.
people know
Don't
thing.
start. Well, let me make sure it's the right person for me. I think that's him.
What is Skype helper? What the fuck is that?
Hmm?
Just getting a... Skype helper is using your camera. Well...
Okay.
All right, let me make slight adjustments
Yeah, I'm
before
gonna do
you
things too.
cropping the windows. All right.
Slide barrier.
I have such a cute shirt on today. You have a cute shirt on today.
I like your earrings too.
Thank you. I like your shirt.
Thanks.
I love these earrings.
Got my shirt at a thrift store years and years ago. I love thrifting. So much fun.
I found these earrings and I like them so much. They're made by Kendra Scott. I literally went and bought 2 more pairs in like slightly different variations. I was in an earring phase. I would like to note that this is like the 3rd week in a row where I'm eating chicken nuggets while we're like getting ready to record, and I feel like I need to start like making like ready-made meals accessible.
Yeah, maybe.
Because you guys don't want to deal with me when I'm hangry, but I also like need to get something quickly, and McDonald's is the only thing that is directly from my work to my home.
Yeah, like yesterday I had to stream early because Matt was streaming like at the time that I normally do, and we have 1 camera. So I literally like put a bunch of stuff in the crock pot before I went to work, and then ready-made dinner when I got home. I was like, I do not have to cook. Jack, get down. So I might do that more often on nights I have to stream, so I don't have to worry about cooking beforehand. Just crock pot and go.
I don't know. See, I'm gonna start doing more of that myself too. I'm super into that right now. I'm just trying to get into my flow. What is this happening here? I've got some notification, but I can't figure out what it is. Oh, Skype sent me a card. Thanks, Skype. Oh, look at that! Did I successfully add you? Holy shit! Holy shit!
Sure.
Did something work correctly?
Hey, there we go.
I'm like super excited. Are we already live on the stream, Ember?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Well, there you go. I need to change. Wait, let's see. Let's do
To be
this.
fair,
All 4 of us
lately
are
I've been
showing.
eating the regular classic roast beef sandwiches from Arby's after my workouts because it's the only fast food I can get that's just like a lot of protein and like not a lot of other bullshit.
Your camera dropped.
Where did my camera go?
I don't know.
I don't know. Poof, it was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so did Ethan.
Oh no. 2 cameras. Oh no.
2 down.
Oh,
Don't worry.
okay.
Oh, Ethan's back.
Hello.
Hey,
Suddenly,
apparently if I don't keep that window open, it goes away. Got it.
Yes.
suddenly at a different angle.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Major audio video desync. That's terrifying.
That does sound like a catastrophic condition on a starship.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually chicken nuggets.
I had to go upstairs and prep the dinner for the kiddos because immediately after this podcast, as we'll discuss, I'm going to go see Black Panther.
Yes.
Yay.
By the way, sorry I didn't see your message. The work today was kind of a clusterfuck. Not kind of. It was absolutely a clusterfuck. I don't even know. Like it was just like I was only supposed to have like 1 meeting, but then I had 2 meetings, and then both of them went long and then sideways and.
Which I mean can be a good thing in certain circumstances, but not for meetings.
Ooh, money. Surprise.
Long
money.
and sideways. Is that your jam?
I mean, Long and Sideways was my 80s cover band, so.
I got surprise money. Apparently,
You
my
found
escrow
money.
had an overage. So
What they're saying is that the video and the audio have about a 6-second delay.
Hmm.
That sounds very bizarre. I don't even know how that happens.
You don't normally have that problem.
Today we're drinking a Belgian white, and I don't have it in my pint glass.
Today we're drinking the old Mountain Dew, and then I will be grabbing a new Mountain Dew right before we go.
The old Mountain Dew.
Yeah, you know the regular Mountain Dew. Then they got the Mountain Dew Ice. It's basically like Sprite plus caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Sweet tea.
I'm gonna
Sweet
quit
tea.
some.
Because I'm a Southern girl, so sweet tea.
Quit some things.
You know something really
that
funny?
messes us up.
You'll find this funny. I actually didn't know what sweet tea was until I moved to Virginia, and I was driving a friend of mine. We had just gotten back from game, and like I only barely knew him, but we were driving up to like a DC game from Northern Virginia. So we drive up, went to game. On the way back, he's like, let's stop at McDonald's, we'll get something. And I was like, okay, what are you getting? Because I'm driving, right? So I go to order. He's like, okay, what do you want? And he's like, okay, I want the burger, blah blah blah, and a sweet tea. And I was like, okay, like don't know what that is. And he was just like, yeah, just order sweet tea. And I was like you want sweetener with the tea? He's like, no, just say the word sweet tea and the person will give it to you. And I went,
I'll be right back.
and I'm like,
Okay.
what is this chaos?
Oh man. Yeah, even up in Virginia, that's getting towards the border of non-sweet tea territory.
Oh no, not in Virginia. Not in Virginia. Once you get past, if you're in Northern Virginia, sure.
Yeah.
But as soon as you get below like Alexandria and Annandale, like all those places down there, they are all sweet tea drinkers. In fact, one of the guys there, he used to have his like grandma's sweet tea recipe, which I don't know what was different about that tea, but I'd come over to his house and I'd be like, yeah, cool. Anyway, so we're gonna play Settlers of Catan, and did you make sweet tea? Like, is there tea in the fridge?
Yeah, they like every family has their sweet tea recipe. I used to make it so sweet. My friends called it nectar. I can't drink that anymore because of how I've changed my diet.
Yeah.
But I accidentally once I had a smaller jug and I put the same amount of sugar. I made it too sweet for myself once. And I was like, I took a sip and I was like, nah, this is going to kill somebody. Let's cut this with some water.
I figured that was you, M Bean, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't 100% sure.
The optimal level of sweetness in sweet tea is whatever the most sugar you can dissolve in water with tea minus the slightest smidgen.
So basically, you just want a little bit of tea with your sugar.
I want diabetes for half an hour after eating it. After drinking it. That's what I want.
I wonder if it's chilling out now. I mean, tell me if it's chill. Is it chilling out at all now that we're like been on for a few? Sometimes the stream kind of mellows out after it's been up for a minute.
Yeah, sorry, I had to mute and check there. I'm running on my phone, and it's really, really close to in sync there. That we're not having this lag issue.
All right, so it sounds like it might be okay now.
So
Sometimes I think it just happens when you start the stream. It like needs to get going.
Yeah, have you done the tweet and the Facebook from Grills and
I just did it.
hosting?
I tweet for me, but then I forgot to do it from. Nope. The answer is no. Jen forgot.
That's why I'm here to remind you.
Real talk. Nope. I like how I tried to come up with like a.
Sure, I'm on it.
Nope. Didn't do a goddamn thing. All right.
My kids will do that. They'll try to answer a question I didn't ask. And I just sit there and look at them blankly until they like, the short answer is no. Okay, then now we can move on. Now I'll take your explanation.
Now I have to repeat the question so you listen this time instead of just guessing what I asked. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite
Sometimes my kids are like contestants on Jeopardy. They want to answer the question before half of it's read.
My husband is also guilty of this. He'll answer something and I'm like, wow, you only listened to the first 3 words of that, huh? All right. Let me try again.
Are you ETHANCAIN?
Mm.
Is that your Twitter handle?
There's an E at the end of the Caine.
Yep.
Okay.
ETHANCAINE.
Oh, that's right. That's what I thought, but then I erased it because I thought I was wrong. Try refreshing your whole channel. I mean, sometimes giving it a good refresh will fix it. Twitch has special. I know Ember is routing it through a different way, so we may have some delay, but it should be
I was
playing
just watching it
okay.
on my phone, and not even in the Twitch app. In Safari, and it was running.
I know, but I'm thinking he just needs to reset his connection. He'll probably get in. Bye.
Oh, no.
All right. Normally, I'm not racing out of work. Like, I was so mad because I was so on time, and then somebody brought a puppy. Somebody brought a puppy into the office. I'm like trying to deal with this last chat, right? And I can't leave until the person's done chatting with me. And then there's this dog that I've seen pictures of. That's like this like chipoodle thing. I don't know. No, it's not chipoodle. It's a poodle mixed with something else that's fucking adorable. Basically, it's two adorable things crammed together to make one unhealthy, ridiculous adorability creature. And so, of course, I had to be like, I was like, because normally people bring in their babies to our work because of what we do. Everybody's like, oh, let's bring my baby to work. And I was like, oh, there must be a baby. Whose baby is here? And somebody was like, no, it's a dog. And I'm like, like fly out of my chair to go see it. And I'm like, yay, babies are cool, but
A puppy.
but a puppy. No, to be fair, I do actually like when people bring their bebés, because that's when I get to interact with children and then hand them back to their parents afterwards.
So grandparent syndrome.
Kinda.
Kinda, basically. That's basically how it works. I feel like this didn't actually go through, even though it said it did. Let's look at that again.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna do a separate tweet here. I don't know. I don't know if I can log in as Geekbros. What if I tweet to Geekbros? So that will suffice for now.
All right. Damn it. Well, we do have a bunch of lag, but there's nothing I can do about it.
Oh,
Video
no.
looks good. We're not dropping frames. It's just out of sync with the audio.
A poodle puncher. No, it's a poodle. God, I can't remember. It's like a poodle and a I don't know. There's so many of those stupid fucking combinations. Which, by the way, why? Why do you have to just like, oh, let's just make a compound? I guess like Germans. That's what Germans do with everything.
Yeah.
This word equals this. Like, I think rollerblader is my favorite. It's like rolling boot skate person or something like that.
German compound words are hilarious.
Yes, especially if you ever look at the warning on like the thing that you flip down to change your child's diaper, like in a bathroom. Not always, but sometimes if they have the right warning on it, you can see all the other languages are like separated by words, and the German one is one like 17-letter word. And that's all it says.
All right, so do you want me to drop out my audio and see if the video is closer to sync, or just let it go?
I don't know.
Okay. Because the audio quality is fine and the video quality is fine. They're just out of sync. So do you want to just move on and start now on time, or screw around?
Yeah.
I think people will just have to deal with slight delay, and we apologize. We're continuing the effort of, the things and stuff.
If you're a Twitch viewer and you're not used to seeing things slightly out of sync once in a while, you're obviously watching
Where
the
the
wrong
hell have
Twitch.
you been?
Then somehow Jeff Bezos. I don't know.
Yeah. Because something's not quite right on that. Yeah.
So, Jen, real quick before we start, my favorite German compound word, Nacktschnecke, which is naked snail, which is a slug. They call it a naked snail.
Sure.
I love languages. Like, love it.
I think I dated her back in high school. Naked Snail. I'm pretty sure that's what her name was.
BioCow. You should be setting up my bots. We need that to be suggested for a show name.
You just need Showbot. Get Showbot. Showbot and everything will be better.
Yeah, and it only takes like 15 minutes to set up total.
Well, there's much.
It took me hours to set up for Ritual Misery because we were the beta case. We were the test case scenario for BioCow to finish it all up.
Yeah, I want bot stuff, but the setup apps are on the PC, and then so I set that up on Twitch, but then I usually stream from the Mac, and it still works though because then it's set up on Twitch, right, from there.
Right. Well,
So
you actually set it up through Streamlabs, I believe.
Yeah, that's.
But
I've got that installed,
so Streamlabs hooks
set
up with your Streamlabs hooks up with your Twitch account. Your Twitch account, you go there, and Streamlabs hooks up with
I get
and
it.
then voila.
Twitch account attached.
It's
to
twitchy
the
and cloudy.
Twitter account,
I don't have to
Twitter
worry about
account, to the Steam account. Oh, sorry.
I'm about to try out the.
These things.
I'm about to try out the OBS Streamlabs. I think the ones
Yeah, do
where
it.
actually-
Do it.
Yeah.
It'll make your life.
Yeah.
I've been using that for about a month now for Ritual Misery, and it is amazing how integrated everything is and how simple it is and how much. I mean, OBS doesn't have a lot of overhead to begin with, and then adding Streamlabs stuff in with it added zero extra overhead, which was just amazing. So yeah, I recommend it, but it's Windows only though. So
That's okay.
That is-
I do have Windows.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Don't worry,
I operate
I
on
only
both,
have
so
18 more of these to do.
yeah, I operate
It'll
on
be fine.
both too, and I installed it in the PC and did a new setup over there with it. And it's really nice, very handy. A lot friendlier than the OBS interface itself.
Hold on,
yeah,
let
I started using OBS right as they split it off into studio and multi-platform, and then they recombined them again. And when they recombined them, it was a lot better, a lot easier to use. And then the OBS, the Streamlabs version, just adds a lot of functionality to it without adding a bunch of extra crap. Yeah, as God King in the chat room says, slobs.
That's M-Beam, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
He's just going crazy today with the names.
I actually think that's like his new Twitch name.
Hi, kitty.
So let me know when you want me to hit the intro.
About 5 more seconds. I only have 2 more places. I think I said that 3 times, but I kept forgetting about other ones.
You
There are too
you
many
might
Discord.
Yes.
you might need a checklist.
I do. I need a checklist. I need a
Geez, you got a
checklist, and I
checklist for
also
everything
need
else.
an assistant. M-Beam says he's already there, but I got a poop on deck that could choke a donkey. Damn Arby's. That was what he said in response to my Ritual Misery post that we're live. You're welcome. 1-800 I don't give a fuck. Okay. All right, I'm alive. My fucking camera didn't disappear. That's always good.
Are
I
you
have show
streaming
notes.
too?
I've tweeted. I have Facebooked. I have fixed my Facebook and retweeted. And I have closed the Facebook so I don't read the Facebook. And
That's a good thing.
especially
while hosting, that won't work out.
ADHD Central over here. Yeah, totally. Okay. We're not doing too bad considering I literally got off work 25 minutes late. So, all right.
Ready.
Ready?
Yes. I am prepared. Was it really episode 79? Is that really right?
Yeah. Great.
You're fucking 80 next week? Okay. All right. I'm ready.
Shut up and sit down.
Hello. Welcome to episode 79 of Geek Grills, a podcast in which geeky women and sometimes guests gather to record topical conversation and then deliver it to the masses. The Geek Grills podcast is supported solely by our patrons. You can become a patron today at www.patreon.com/grills. I am the Jen, and I am here with my co-host, as always, Linda.
Hello.
Hi, Linda. And September, also known as 9 of 12.
Howdy.
Hello. So today we also have a guest joining us. This is Anthony Lemos, aka Amos, aka Ethan Caine, host of the Ritual Mystery Podcast, and Let's Talk About Thrones. What up?
I just finished Chili Dog, so I'm glad this is by Skype.
Yeah, I'm glad too.
So we can get all the burps? What? Oh.
I am also glad that is the case. Excellent. So good news. Welcome, Diamond Club family. So excited to have Diamond Clubbers on any chance we get. So yes, that's right. We've taught Linda how to do the Diamond Club. Linda is now a part of the Diamond Club.
Taught me how to do it properly.
The pads have to touch. Anyway, so that didn't happen. I swear. No.
Not a cult.
All right, you crazy nerds. What have you all been up to? Linda, what's your week been like?
Well, it's time for my plushie update, as always. I feel like I should have like a recording of the, oh my god, it's so fluffy, I'm gonna die. And just that's what I play every time.
We definitely need
I can get that.
a sounder for that, I think. Yeah, the plushie update needs it.
So I've made 3 more of my Yoshis. I've got the light blue, the dark blue, and the orange one. I'm gonna now take a break from Yoshis because I've made 9.
Yeah, I gotta
all
like try
different
something
colors.
else.
Well, I took that off and I made Iron Man gloves.
All right, those are freaking cool. I will buy those. How much do those cost? Okay, those are already
Holy
sold.
epic awesome.
They're $15 for the fingerless gloves. And I made them while I was at work today. So
My friend will let me be friends with him in public if I wear those gloves, though. I don't know if I care, though. It's like I don't know. Those are awesome. It's gotta be hard to like do the same pattern over and over again. Like even if you're changing color, it is kind of like, okay, and Yoshi knows.
Yeah, that's why I got to the end of the orange one and I was like, I could make the black, brown, and white ones, or I could go to a different pattern. Let's go to a different pattern.
I was actually kind of hoping she would start doing their powers, like when they spit the stuff out, the different colors. They could just go on, have little fireballs, and I think that'd be great.
It depends on if I can find patterns or make patterns, that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, see, I still can't get over. Is it Bulbasaur? Is ridiculous. That one is.
He's back there in my plushy hammock.
He's awesome. Awesome. That's crazy.
Let's see. We went and saw Black Panther on Saturday, and that was a fun adventure because we went to lunch with my husband's parents, and as we're eating at the Olive Garden, Matt's like, "Yeah, we're gonna try and see Black Panther," which was news to me. I kind of looked over at him. I was like, "All right, sure." I didn't know we were going today, but okay. And so we tried to go at 4:15, and the theater was sold out until 10 p.m. So we got tickets for 10 p.m. and we went home and then came back.
Oh, wow.
It was so good, though. So good. I loved it. So colorful and nice.
Don't worry, listeners. There will be no spoilering of any Black Panther.
Yeah, no spoilers.
At all. No spoilers at all, we promise.
Yet.
Yes.
Not in this episode.
Spoiler alert. We might talk about Black Panther on our next episode. No. Which is, yes.
Maybe.
Maybe.
That's called foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing,
Oh, yeah,
yes.
that's true.
And then on Sunday, I had an underground theater werewolf apocalypse parlor LARP. It's a lot of words there.
I didn't know that you LARPed with those guys. The guys that started underground theater are the guys I used to LARP with in the Midwest in a different org. So totally small world. Like I was like involved with them when they were getting started with that org, and like when they were picking a logo and choosing a name, and it was kind of crazy. Small world.
Yeah, they're cool. And we've started doing it. It's still a parlor LARP because we use those rules, but we actually are going out to a campsite at Red Top Mountain, which is a place, a park. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. It's a park like 30 minutes from where I live. So we're out there able to kind of be in the woods, but it also has tables and it also has cover and is nice.
It's always good when you're pretending to be a werewolf to not be like to have a little bit of bit of some scenery.
Yeah, not being a library, which is where we were a couple of times.
Yeah, ours was a student union on the weekly basis. That's why we would, about once a quarter, we would head out to a campground or something else so we could kind of get a little more in tune with our nature-loving crazy characters.
So that's what I've been doing this week.
That's a busy week, though, still. Lots of more plushies than I expected to have been completed in the week. You were, like, just turning them out. She's like a one-woman sweatshop for, like, tiny, like, critters that I want to own. Tiny things I want to own.
Where did I put it? I don't know where I put it. I found a pattern. I actually bought a pattern for a tiny Black Panther, like a T'Challa. So I'm going to make so many T'Challas to take with me to MomoCon.
That's awesome. That's so fantastic. I love it. I love it. All the things. Amber, what have you been up to?
Well, I have not gotten to see Black Panther. I plan to go, I think, tomorrow after band practice. My husband's band practice. I did get a Kindle and a cool case, which I love. It's kind of another one that makes it look like a book, like a journal, like my old iPad one did. So now it's one less thing to have running on the machine when we're recording, because I got my notes up on it. It's like, damn it, too many devices. No, not me. I did go see my son, though, in Raleigh, and got to the Boxcar place I told you about again, which is an awesome arcade bar. So he had a really great time. I beat him at air hockey, which, come on. It feels really good, because it was like I'm surrounded by all these college kids, and they're like, look at the old lady. Like, yeah, watch. I'm going to kick a 22-year-old's ass at air hockey. And we played Walking Dead pinball, and I have to tell you, if you can get to this machine, holy shit. We played and played. We had so much fun. The game has a bunch of meta in it. Excuse me, like there's a prison yard, and you have to hit the door to bust it open, and then you have a certain amount of time to be scoring things in that particular area. So you're actually aiming with your paddles to get in that certain area to take down a certain number of zombies, and then there's another thing to set off Michonne's sword, taking out the big zombie, and there's magnets in it. So like if you hit the big ugly zombie in the well, like the bloated one from the story, enough times, hard enough, it sets off the magnet and it like grabs the ball. There's a couple things like that mechanic in there, and
that was one of the grossest. Like that was the first
it was nasty.
experience with serious gross in that show. Was that bloated well?
And they had the add-on.
Zombie.
I ended up looking online to like, what is all this meta? Like, there's strategy in this freaking pinball game, and they have an add-on, the Governor's Fish Tank on the top with the heads floating in it. So,
yikes.
Anyway, our new favorite pinball machine, in that, like, the idea of having to actually score in different parts of and plan for that in the machine to get to the point where you've got 3 balls going at the same time, depending on your score, which is nuts. And I loved it. I love pinball, so. I got into another audio drama. Now, it's really weird because I'm a reader. I've never been into audiobooks. I know so many people in audiobooks, but like for my car trips and whatever, I was an NPR junkie and podcasts, but I've been getting these audio dramas. First was Tanis, and now it's the Bright Sessions. My friend Trent recommended it to me after I recommended him Tanis, and it's so great. They've got a couple seasons out. You can go listen to a ton of it. It's framed around therapy sessions for people with superpowers, basically. And the story.
It's a really interesting concept. I feel like there's lots of cartoons that I've seen like that. That's really fun. I love it. Also, kudos for the Kindle. I had one on my wish list for like a decade.
Which is often a problem in audio dramas.
Wait, hold on. I think cut out a little bit. Did anybody else catch that? I missed it.
Mm-mm.
What was it?
All right. You roboted a little bit, Amber. What was it about audio dramas? I'm sorry.
I was saying the acting is really good. And the writing and the acting are really good. A lot of times the acting falls off and you're like, this does sound like they're standing around a microphone. But the acting is really good in this one. I'm really liking the characters.
Nice.
Oh no! Something is coming over the ridge.
Right?
Yeah.
One of the
it's
main
always-
characters also writes most of it, I think. So I'm sure that helps.
Oh,
There was-
absolutely.
It's always good when you're listening to an audio drama and you can actually hear the pages shuffling as they read the script. You know, it's when it's a
Yeah.
premium feature.
There was an audiobook I was listening to years ago where the rest of the like characters were fine, but the woman they had to read like chapter 1, chapter 2, just the titles of the chapters, she was like chapter 1, chapter 2. I was like, you sound so sad. Did someone
Like,
die?
did you want a different job? Did they
Yeah.
tell you were going to get to read more than just the chapter names? That's horrible.
You're obviously really excited about this one coming up.
I'm really excited that you got a Kindle, and it's funny because I've had a Kindle in my wish list for like the last like many months. It's actually Ember knows because she's been to my wish list and was like, "I've got a Kindle there."
Yeah,
It's been there for
right?
forever. I need to get one.
And you wanted the Paperwhite.
Yeah, I need the paperwhite, but that's only because I've like my shitty eye. I need like really good because this eye does all the work. So this eye needs help.
She needs a visual crutch on the Kindle.
That's actually part of
I
why
do.
I got
That's why I
mine.
do audiobooks most of the time. Is because I like my one eye that does all the work gets very tired because I play video games where I stare at screens and I work all day where I stare at screens and then I want to come home and read a book. Like it's just like all right.
Yeah.
Actually,
Nah. It's like, nah, you're done.
I don't have a problem so much
Nope,
with books,
not
but one of the reasons I did get this is there are a couple mobile games I'm into and been playing a while. One of them, and I just went today and got a prescription. I'm getting new glasses. I need new glasses. My eyes are getting so bad. And I wasn't even able to play games on my phone. And I was like, that and
but you can
we're
get
having
you an
an
old
author
lady
on
phone, like
soon.
one of those big telephones with like big buttons.
Yeah,
can, like-
'cause it's like grandma phone. The phones
Yeah.
get so big. I was like, why would I not have a tablet? It's tablet sized. So I'll just
I
get
just
the
want the
tablet
idea
for
of
like
having giant buttons that you have to tap.
a third
Yeah,
of the price or a
somebody
quarter
was
of the
telling me
price.
somebody was telling me one time that they went to make a Skype phone call from their iPad and they were pissed off because the numbers were still small. Like, why not just make the number pad really big on the iPad because it's really small on the phone, and they just basically use the same one on the iPad, and they were like,
It's
"No,
silly
I got the
stuff.
iPad because I need it bigger." Yeah, it's like
I never
You
realized
got a
that.
point.
That is absolutely accurate. That's terribly designed.
use the interface, scale the
Mhm.
interface with the display.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still that way because I haven't made a Skype phone call in forever. So
I don't know, but that's poor planning if that's the case. All right, Amos, what have you been up to?
Okay, so first of all, for the video viewers, I am drinking a Mountain Dew Ice. This is the one from the Super Bowl commercial, and I got to tell you, it's like Sprite or 7-Up done right. It's really good. Of course, I'm partial to caffeinated beverages, so
I am too. Do they make diet ice? Can I have Detice?
I don't know how that would work. I honestly don't know.
I
have
sampled
to try
that
to find
in the
it.
store.
I'm lucky in that my sister-in-law like delivers Mountain Dew to my house because she works at Walmart. So she just
That's
comes
great.
home. She's like, "Oh, he's low on Mountain Dew," so she just feeds me Mountain Dew because I'm a much happier person when I'm highly caffeinated.
Twoo
Yeah, me
love.
too. Me too.
That is twoo love.
It's not showing a
and then,
diet version. Just saying.
I'm actually going right after this to go see Black Panther. It's going to be our we have family nights on Tuesdays, so the entire family is going to go see it tonight. Looking forward to it. Not really, because it's a MCU, and I am so caught up on the MCU. I'm not at all caught up on the MCU. I'm still in like Iron Man 2. Mostly because my relationship with the MCU is one in that so many people told me I had to keep up on it that I put it in that file of, well, I'm not going to bother because I can hear about it anytime I want. So now I'm so far behind that it's like watching Doctor Who. It's just too daunting. I'm never gonna get that done. So why start now? But it's family night, so I got to go watch it with the family. So I'm gonna go do that. And then we had a 4-day weekend, and we decided to do a lot of cleaning in the house because it was snowing outside. So I took the kids out on Thursday to one of the hills in the local area, and we had a blast out there.
I mean, yay for that, but fuck the snow. No.
We came home, it was a Sunday, we came home from soccer down in Anchorage and came up to the valley. And usually Anchorage gets tons more snow than we do. We have this like little weather system around us. Came up here and we had like 4 inches on the ground, and Anchorage didn't get anything. It was like this surprise 4 inches.
I've heard of the surprise 4 inches, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, cool.
It wasn't soft and powdery.
I'm glad you guys got some cleaning done.
And on my big thing this week, like my big geek thing this week is I have a mixer that has far more capability than I know what to do with. And I found a way to make those capabilities work for me and my podcast in a way that I can actually do pre-show with my guests while the audience is live, so they know we're coming on and they're listening to jazz in the background while we're all talking on the other channel.
That's always good, because then you guys can be like, oh man, I wonder what fuckers are going to listen to this shit today. Anyway, oh, hey guys,
Jen,
hey, what up? Hey.
What is going on with your feed, Jen? Like, you were just superimposed. It said soft 4 inches over your face for a minute.
It's because I was typing in notes into the chat, so I remembered it for later.
Okay, so you know, it showed up in Skype and everyone's seeing it.
I know, I put it in our shared chat. I'm putting show title ideas.
Right, but it's superimposing over your face. I'm saying.
Why is it doing that?
I don't know.
But everyone can see. It's okay.
It's okay.
Why does it go to everybody? Skype, what is wrong with you? Like, Skype needs to be in charge of everything. It's like, I need to rule your computer and your audio, and whenever you use me, you shall bow down to me and hate me as much as you always do, and maybe more, because we did an update.
I don't know. That all seems legit to me. That sounds like Skype is just, being Skype.
Letting me know that it's going to everybody. I was like, what does it matter, Ember? It just goes to you. Oh, wait a minute. There's an entire audience that can see everything.
No secrets here.
Oh, hey, by the way, so I forgot to mention when we were talking about, like, Black Panther. A bunch of the Wakanda scenes were filmed in Stockbridge, Georgia. So I'm like, yay!
Oh, yay. That's awesome.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
So,
anyway.
Amos, sorry.
That's okay.
Yep.
So Amos is all set up with all of his audio shit, so he can talk shit about his audience before he gets to go live. We've established that. Good.
Right. It's important in coordinating the trash fire that you do so ahead of time and make it a surprise.
Yeah, so. that's usually good. All right. Woo! We're all on. I think we're all on one today, man. This week has been weird. I know it's been weird for Ember too, because Ember and I talked last night. We're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is happening? This is a weird week. That's what my director usually says, probably because Mercury is in retrograde.
Is that it? That could be it, sure.
No, it's not, but that's what he always says. I feel like he's always blaming it on Mercury being in retrograde.
Calling me saying, can you bring me like a bunch of books on Kabbalah because I'm having an existential crisis?
Yeah. Is that how he had told you he needed you to see him, was bring me books on Kabbalah?
That was part of it, yeah. Yeah, I hooked him up with a friend of mine in the Golden Dawn, and yeah. So that wasn't weird.
Yeah. All right. We'll have to have an intervention later, maybe. I don't know. That sounds a little scary. Good for him. Oh man. Okay, what have I been up to? I went to go see Black Panther. It was busy. I'm glad I got tickets ahead of time. But even still, the theater was a little bit of a shit show. But the movie was good, but I had the guy next to me that had to be like the most like obnoxious human being ever. No, and not really like, at first I was like, okay, I buy it because I went to Roadhouse where we get to drink beer and eat food while we watch the movie. And anytime I really am excited about a movie, I do that. And I do that for other reasons too. Sorry to you people that have children, but I do it because you don't bring your fucking kids to the one where you have to pay extra money for the ticket because you can also buy beer and food there. Because I don't want to deal with your child that you're going to bring to an MCU movie, which is totally okay. But man, like, he's just sitting there and what did he say? He's like, he orders his salad and he's like, I want extra meat on the 2 salads and extra dressing on 1. And the guy's like, okay, which one gets extra? He's like, my salad. And it's like, okay, great. So they come back with the salads. And mind you, if you're going to order your food, you show up to those places like 20 or 30 minutes before the show. You don't show up like 2.5 minutes before the preview start because that's just being a dick. Anyway, that's fine. I'm cool with it because they bring him his salads and it's like he didn't get extra dressing. He didn't get the extra meat. He didn't get the extra dressing. Him and his girl not happy about it. I get it. I'm feeling for the fucking couple next to me. I really am. Man, that sucks. You paid way too much money for that salad and it wasn't the way you wanted it. Cool. Guy comes back again and is like, oh, we're sorry. Here's your new salads. So good. We're into the movie now. I'm back into the movie. And then he's like, wow, this technology, man, this is crazy. You know, what I was thinking about, like, and I'm like, oh my, no. I am not going to have you narrate every piece of technology that we see in this movie from beginning to end. And then I'm like, okay, but at least the salad debacle's over, right? Nope, wrong. The server comes back again. And the guy is just like, is this what you call extra dressing? So literally the server comes back with like a mini trough of dressing. It's like, sir, it's 3 cups. And I'm like, thank God this man is going to get enough dressing so I can just have him eat his fucking salad and stuff.
And put something in his mouth and shut his pie hole.
No, well, that's exactly it. I'm like, great, he's going to eat his salad. That means he's not going to talk. He's just going to enjoy his fucking salad, right? That is the crunchiest lettuce that they put on that salad, man. They get the freshest produce in that place. It's just like, oh, Wakanda, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, God.
And of course, I look over to Ventura, and Ventura couldn't even be bothered because he's just like watching the movie. But this guy is sitting immediately next to me, and I'm, this is ridiculous. But other than that, the movie was excellent. And I did get to really get some insight into what he thought about the movie. As it was happening. So that was also wonderful.
So you were watching for 2. Excellent.
Yeah, basically. It was... the chick in front of me broke the chair, too. Like, had a chair break. Like, it was a disaster. I'm telling you, like, it was such a shit show. I've never had something like that happen at, like, Roadhouse. It's crazy.
And now it gets to be complained about on the internet times 2.
Moment where I channeled my mother because at one point, years ago, I think it was, like, Starship Troopers or something she's seeing in the theaters, and there are these kids behind us just yakking and yakking and yakking. And my mom, like, she told me later, I was just going to turn around and, like, shush them or say, please be quiet. But apparently I had reached the end of my patience because I turned around and said, shut up! And it's
I'm trying to be nice about it, but shut your fucking trap.
So it's like, I would have, like, I don't know what I'd have done. I know Matt would have, like, flipped his lid.
We went to go see Ragnarok, which, again, Thor is my favorite of the comic books, so I was fucking right pissed when this fucking dude whips out his phone and is, like, again, right next to me. I don't know what it is. Like, Ventura gets the people that are normal. I get to sit next to assholes, and I pick the tickets every time. So I need to start having him buy the tickets, and I'll pay for the food so that he can sit next to the asshole in the future. But, like, this guy has his cell phone out, and I literally did the full swivel stare to make it abundantly clear that I was not okay with him texting on his phone next to me. But anyway, I did enjoy the movie. It was really wonderful. It was a good movie. I encourage you to go see it, and I'm hoping that we get to do a spoilering episode of it next week because that would be super awesome, and we haven't done one of those in a while, so that would be super, super cool. I've been playing way too much Monster Hunter. My Fitbit is like, you got an average of 1 hour, 6 minutes less sleep than you have in the last 4 weeks. Remember to stick to your bedtime. And I'm like, shut up. I had to kill that monster. and still go to work the next day. And do my homework. I did a Hearthstone tournament last night. I'm playing in the Hearthstone Open Collegiate some shit. I don't know. I found other people that go to the University of Phoenix because it's a 3-person team, and we played. We did carry one game, but we mostly just got our shit handed to us by, obviously, far superior players. It was fun, though. We had fun, but it's weird because all 3 of you get together and pilot the deck at the same time. So we used my account because they were a little bit newer to Hearthstone. So we all, like, we talk about the moves. The problem is that I'm trying to get buy-in from the other people, and they're, like, running out of time every time. So that was a little bit stressful. Because I'm trying to be, like, nice and not be like, this is the obvious play. But anyway. So crazy stuff. It's been a crazy week, man. We've all had crazy busy weeks. That's awesome.
Jen, real quick, just so you know, maybe it'll help alleviate some of the guilt that you're feeling about your previous comment about going to the special theaters to avoid the kids. That's where parents go to avoid kids as well. So don't feel bad. That's where we go. We're like, you know what? We didn't bring the kids for a reason. We don't want to be bringing other people's kids either. So we're going to go to the spot where nobody brings their kids. That's just how it is.
And I don't mind most of the time, but it's like when it's my first watch, and I mean, my two favorite things are Blizzard and Marvel. So it's like this is my jam. I've been in heaven for the last like however many years. I suppose that with that, it is in fact time for the Geek Grapevine. By the way, it sounds like me typing on my keyboard, like my super loud freaking keyboard that I'm not allowed to type on when we're doing anything with audio.
It's a lot less noise than your keyboard.
What was that?
It's a lot less noise than your keyboard.
That's my point. Yeah, my keyboard is like, no, you think mine is bad?
A lot more bass in your keyboard.
No, it's insane. It's like there's elephants like tapping on it. You just can't tell. So I put this first article in there, and I'm not going to say much about it, but I really hope that this is maybe true. I don't know. So okay, so Blizzard put a posting up for a job that leads people to believe that they might be working on Diablo 4. I would venture to guess that it's not Diablo 4. I would venture to guess that it's maybe an adjacent product or maybe a completely different project. I really don't think that they're going to go for Diablo 4. Like, I feel like Diablo 3 is still selling for console. People are still playing it on console. That I don't think that they're selling enough of it that people would run out and buy Diablo 4 on the console. Like, I don't really feel like that's, I don't know. I'm a little bit I don't know. I don't think it's going there, but I'm excited that there's some new project that they're working on that people are getting like super crazy about and trying to figure out, because last time that happened, we got Hearthstone and then Heroes of the Storm and other shit. So I'm hopeful that will be, and then we had Titan. Oh, just kidding.
I'm actually hoping this is Diablo 4 or maybe a very large scale expansion to Diablo 3. Oh, nice.
Jen's holding up a tiny critter.
Yeah,
I have my treasure goblin.
Ember is also holding up a tiny critter.
Yeah, that's yeah, bro.
I actually am a tiny critter. I just had the camera focused in really, really close. No, Diablo 3 got old to me. Then I started playing with my kids, and then it got old to me again. Then I started playing the expansion, and it got old to me again. It's really, really fun in short periods of time. And Diablo and Diablo 2 are the same ways. Like, I would play through it, and then once I played through, for whatever reason, I know a lot of people find a lot of replayability through, going through and grinding. It just wasn't that for me. It never was. So I'm all for having a new story, a new section of this story, a new telling of an old story, or any of that would be awesome to me. I'm ready for new Diablo
3. The expansion Diablo 3 was one of the most epic stories. The voice acting was incredible. Oh, yeah. The story design was incredible. It blew my mind. Like, I actually played through the story twice, and I never do that because there's too many things I want to play. I never go back and play through the story again.
Right.
And I legitimately did it a second time, and I still got like goosebumps at the times when you're supposed to get goosebumps. And a lot of it is also the music. And we all know that I love and adore the man that was in charge of all of that music. And man, I'm so sad that they let him go last year. I mean, I know he's going to work on other projects and his stuff is still there, but it's still, that's rough. But yeah, like, I don't know. I think Diablo 4 could be cool. I'm just excited they're working on a project, and I'm hopeful. So we'll see what happens. I don't think, is this one mine? This one is not mine. This one is mine. Oh boy. So apparently I put all the news in this week, guys.
No, I have a couple in there.
Okay, good. So apparently, I was reading through this article, and it's kind of like, so basically the game that the game company that made, was it Settlers of Catan and the variations of Settlers of Catan are all included with that, I believe, all of them. So they are going out. They're done. They're hanging up their hat, but they are transferring all of their IP to another company, which is good, I think, but also makes me very nervous. And Settlers of Catan was like the board game that made me realize that I really didn't just like to play Monopoly with my asshole dad, who's a slumlord, but also to play them with my friends, so I can hate them too in the same way, but in a different game. So I'm a little sad about that because I feel like it's probably not going to be the same. But yeah, so just kind of a side note. Yeah, apparently they're hanging up their hat. I didn't really say why. I don't really know. Kind of sucks.
This really struck me as same company, different management. It just like by the time I got done to the bottom of this article, it was okay. Well, nothing's changing except for the people that are letting nothing change.
I hope that's the case. I'm gonna remain hopeful. I will remain hopeful that is in fact the case because it is true. Like the article says, and it's so true. Like Mayfair and Fantasy Flight, I see those on the side of a box. I will pay money for it.
Yeah.
Like usually that's the case.
You figure they can't. It's not like they can run Settlers of Catan into the ground any more than it has already been done with all the expansions and
Settlers of Catan, Household Chores Edition.
Yeah, exactly. That game has been stretched. I mean, the next thing they're gonna have is Skype edition. I mean, it's just you're gonna open the box, and every time you open the box, there's gonna be a new piece in there that you have to use. It's just. I don't see it going away because none of these games. I mean, of all the games that they showed on this article, of the top 10 Mayfair games, I recognize about half of them, and I've played exactly 0 of them. Unfortunately, because nobody wants to take the time to teach me Catan in person because I'm kind of a jerk. So I just didn't seem like anything was going to change on this. And games like this never go away because even if they did go away, there'd be somebody that would make it almost to a T right behind it. It'd be Settlers of Attack.
It's really funny you say that because when I used to tell people that I was like, oh, I'm hanging out playing board games with my friends, and I would post it like from my phone or whatever, and I'd put like Settlers of Catan, and it would autocorrect to Settlers of Satan for like the longest time. So I'd be like telling everybody, I was like, yeah, I'm playing Settlers of Satan, and like everyone was like, that sounds strange. That's cool. Oops. So yeah, I remain hopeful. I will remain hopeful.
So if you want an original box, now's the time to buy it.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. Definitely get it so that you can have long, unnecessarily angry arguments with your friends, and also have fun. Yay! This one is yours. I did not put this article in here.
Yes, I did. So the Transformers movie franchise is apparently set for a reboot, which I can sum up my feelings for that very succinctly. Yes!
I was just going to say, this is really funny considering the conversation that we had about Transformers just last episode. Where Linda specifically went into detail how angry she is about how that's been handled and how she is so ready for this and she can't wait for it to someday happen. Did you create this? Did you put this out into the universe?
I don't know. Maybe maybe by saying it became reality. I don't know. I'm just so happy. I'm so happy.
When you wish upon a star.
When you wish upon a podcast, that's what happens.
Podcast, yeah. So apparently, there is like the one Bumblebee movie spinoff that's coming soon, but that is being directed by the guy that did Kubo and the Two Strings. So I am okay with that.
That was good.
That was a good movie, and so apparently, they have. Michael Bay abandoned Transformers 6, thank God. And that maybe having a reboot sometime in like 2021, which I will wait. Please be good.
That's all right. I'm waiting till 2018 for the Wasp, so we can all just hold our horses and wait.
Please don't make me rage again. I have been raging for the past 7 years.
these Transformer movies are, to me, the biggest disappointment.
Yes.
Ever. And it all comes in because in the original teaser that I saw in the theater when I went to go see Meet the Robinsons or whatever, was just the Transformers, the symbol, and doing the little Transformer sound, and it just came up on screen, and then it went away. And then the movie comes out, and the sound, the this iconic sound that has always signaled the transformation between robot and vehicle or other whatever wasn't there. They changed it, and they changed the way they transform, and to me it was just like they changed too much from the previous canon material, and a lot of people were like all psyched about it, and I just never fell in line with that. And the first movie was okay, second one was all right, and then it just kind of it was just old.
Yeah, the first movie was okay. I've said this before on this podcast. The first movie was okay because it was like starting a new franchise and it was starting a new universe, and so they were doing world building a little bit.
And the voice acting choice was okay. And then it went downhill from there. I like the second one, I thought I was watching a fan fiction on the big screen, and then I just like I think I gave up after the third one. You probably were. Like, let's real talk. You probably
I was just like, no, like not only did he kill off my favorite character in the first movie, but it just went, there was no, I can go on for hours, by the way. There's no characterization. They're just big metal robots.
It's a big, giant metal robot pile of steamy poop.
Well, what they did,
and the military.
The first one is like an origin story, right? And it got you going, got you kind of pumped up, brought you into the world of Transformers, and I thought Shia LaBeouf did a great job. And I mean, just overall, I thought it was a fun movie and it was well done. Mm-hmm. And then what they did is they skipped the next 14 movies, and they put out Transformers 15 or whatever, and it was like where everything had just been stretched to its absolute limit. And that was the second movie,
including of all things, and we cuss like sailors here, and whatever the fuck. But the second Transformers movie, why? It was like gratuitous swearing all over the place, and like the last one wasn't like that, so it didn't fit the characterizations. And I had my kid with me who was, I don't know what, he's 14 now, so it was like, whoa, It was too much.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't belong in that world and those characters.
So bad. I hate them with the rage of 1,000 fiery suns.
So all four of us are thumbs up for a reboot on the Transformers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you ready for a Transformers reboot this early, though? Or do we still need another 5 years to let the assets settle?
Nope, I'm good. Let's just pretend like those didn't exist. These were not the robots you were looking for. Now we will have new ones.
If they kill Jazz again, I will be very upset.
I know. I felt the same way. I really like Jazz too. It wasn't my favorite, but I like Jazz too.
Well, I like him from the original comics too.
Yeah, me too. That's I appreciate it. I feel it. I dig it. So this article just tickled me. Absolutely tickled me. So apparently this this skier, who clearly has way too much money to go and randomly enroll in events all over the world, literally got into the Olympics, specifically got into the Olympics on a technicality, like an actual technicality. The idea is that you have to compete in so many events and place in the top 30 in more than 30 events or something like that. Or no, I think it's 25. I think you have to do 25 top 30 finishes to participate in the half pipe ski event. So she went to all of the events, the world of like qualifying events or the different events that counted, and focused specifically on the ones that had fewer than 30 participants, and then didn't fall. So she just went, and instead of doing interesting things, literally just went up and down, which is why this came up when people were like watching the event, and they're like, what is she doing? And she's just going back and forth. And that's what she did when she competed too, because the way the scoring in the thing works is that if you try a trick and you fall, you will score worse than somebody who just safely skis back and forth.
Right. The penalty for falling is much more difficult to overcome. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Again, this is another story that I was thoroughly entertained by. I'm pissed that I didn't think of this. I could have been an Olympic skier or something, you know.
Exactly. Like, apparently all you have to do is find technicalities and go for your dreams, everyone. Go for
Yeah.
them.
Loophole
Any-
Olympians, away!
Anyone hating on this lady is just they're doing life wrong. Is what they're doing. Because
Oh, I
this
know.
lady
There are
wins.
people that are like, you're befuddling the spirit of the game. And it's like, no, stop.
Get over
Let's all
yourselves.
just calm down.
Yeah.
So worst Olympian ever, but she's fully admits to that fact, and that's absolutely wonderful. So
My,
this
my,
is
my wife has a T-shirt that says "World's Okayest Runner." I'm like, I was putting laundry away last night, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" She goes, "It's true."
It's
I was like,
Sure.
I was like, "All right, yeah." I mean, it's not false advertising.
Oh my gosh.
Right on.
I am fine. My cat apparently sees your cat and feels like it's time to dive into the office.
Oh, yeah, sorry. My cat came up to say hello.
The kitty always participates in the podcast. Okay, you're freaking paper. You don't get to do that right now. All right, George is a butthole. So anyway,
So add
this
that to your checklist, Jen. Make sure tissue paper is not on floor for cat to play with.
it's actually Amazon paper, like the stuff that keeps my shit from breaking when it gets shipped. Of course, now he's just sitting on it like, I'm the cutest cat. So we have a road spill story. Hooray. Okay.
Yes,
So let's
I
see
found
here.
one. It's actually
Oh,
like
wow.
from today.
Super recent from
Yeah.
today. Cleanup work is underway. Damaged vehicle is being assessed after a truck's load of hot liquid asphalt leaked out over 14 miles of highway in Gloucester and Gloucester and Salem counties Tuesday morning. By the way, that was for all you people that were gonna tell me how I fucking pronounced that shit wrong. I caught myself. It happened around 5 a.m. after a truck from the Tri-State Transportation Company, which is based in New Jersey. See, what is with these New Jersey places?
I know, it's another one.
It's like a lot of New Jersey people need to get it figured out.
Turnpike. Heavy truck traffic. Like, statistically, there's going
Yeah.
to be more spills there because there's more trucking there.
That
on the
makes
whole
sense
East
because
Coast.
we get a lot like in Indiana and Ohio too, because like they're like driving from like the major spots over. Like,
turnpikes. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Hot steaming asphalt.
It was boiling
Literally.
hot. Yeah, it leaked from a faulty valve, and they called it a boil over.
Sorry, that could have been really fun. We could
I
have
think
made
that's
fun of
putting
New
it
Jersey, but I
mildly.
noted.
That's like, oh, it was a boil over.
Yeah.
I don't even think it was a faulty valve. I think the valve did exactly what it was supposed to do. I don't think they
Hold on.
waited long enough for it to settle. I think they like filled and went, and they didn't wait for it to settle long enough to see if this would happen or not. But
It's got. I have quotes here. Quote: "A boil over is when condensation gets into the tank and the asphalt mixes with it. When you close the lid and starts moving, it activates and it boils over." An end quote. Dave Maines of Tri-State Transportation.
Wow.
AKA science happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, and also hot steaming pile of asphalt. All right, cool.
Yeah.
And a hot steaming pile of robot conversation. Now we're having a hot steaming pile of asphalt conversation. With that said, we have an awesome guest on the show who's a hot steaming pile of. Oh, hey, what up? How did you get here?
Of misery, apparently.
Oh man! All right, so we have.
Steven Fallon trash fire.
I don't know. That's probably the best introduction I've done of anybody ever. No.
Hey, real quick, did you guys watch the video clip on that website?
No, because it was auto playing so loudly in my ears, I had to stop it. I
So-
try not to see them until later. Is it worth the watch?
The reporter obviously doesn't want to be there,
Yeah.
and he's like hesitantly reporting on the story. And at one point, he throws in a pun. He says, it's a real sticky situation. And then he has to pause for a second to get over himself to move on with the story.
Oh my
So he's like
gosh.
he genned that shit basically. Like he handled it the way the gen does.
It was
Hold on, we
awful.
paused for effect, so you all know I just made a joke.
And you could tell he was either reporting during his lunch hour, or maybe they just grabbed a dude off the street and they're like, "Hey, you're wearing a suit, and here's a microphone. Talk about the story."
That's
I
like,
don't
"Yeah,
know
he's
what
having a
happened, but
pint."
it was not.
I'm reporter Tom Dickerson, and I was supposed to have a much more important job, but instead, I'm here reporting this to you.
Maybe
Right,
he just didn't
yeah.
want to get his shoes dirty.
That to me was the funnest part of it. So anyway,
All right, so totally worth it. Watch the clip. We'll definitely make sure all that's in the show notes for sure, so you can enjoy all of the fun articles. No, seriously. So we finally have you on the show. Amber and I had intentions of having you here since Nerdtacular, may it rest in peace, last summer.
Or rise from the ashes.
Yeah, well, it will rise to the ashes in the form of Viva TMS Vegas, sort of, maybe, kind of halvesies. We'll see. Some of the same folk, completely different venue. But hey, we'll see. Yeah, so as you mentioned, you do the Ritual Misery podcast, and that's actually where I know you from initially, because I've been listening to the Ritual Misery podcast for some time now. So I am absolutely curious how, I know you and Ken are best friends, and you guys bullshit about geek things.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? Like, what was the catalyst? What made you guys say, oh, I'm just fucking bullshit on the internet so other people can listen to us bullshit?
Okay, so Kent and I have always had these long conversations that we get really deep into philosophical stuff that neither one of us has any right being philosophical about. And we always thought, it'd be fun to share these conversations with people, which is initially what we started doing. We started having these long conversations. If you listen to the very early conversations or podcast, it was him and I just, here's a bunch of stuff we want to talk about and then trim it down somehow and throw it out there. And we found out very quickly that I should not be allowed to talk off the cuff for too long at one time, because I have an issue where I just don't care about other people's sensitivities. So it tends to get me in a lot of trouble, especially having the day job that I have.
No, you have an issue? I mean, it sounds like you're an asshole, but I really don't believe that.
But really what it was is he and I had gone through a period of time for maybe a couple of years where we had only talked maybe once or twice during that few years. And in that time, he had started going through a divorce. I had already gone through a divorce, and like our lives had really changed, but we hadn't talked about it and caught up on it. And we decided, you know what, we're going to do a project together. And initially it was a series of YouTube videos that didn't go anywhere because he's ultimately very lazy, and you can tell him I said that. And I had more creativity than I had time, so we kind of met in this middle. And one day on the DTNS post show, Tom Merritt was talking about how you can podcast for free if you do this and do this and do this and do this. And I jumped on it and said, okay, we're doing this. And he was like, what? And I said, we're doing this. And we started doing it. And it's been 3.5, almost 4 years now. And it's just primarily it's a way for me and Kent to keep in touch, and just kind of that weekly phone call between brothers from a different mother, and involving some of the geekiest people we can find, getting them on the show and talking about stuff and sharing ideas.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun being on that show. That was the first time I did a podcast recording where my video was present. And see, back then we were recording Geek Girls, where I could be behind like the sheen of like nobody knows that I'm like, I don't know, doing something stupid or half naked. I don't know. So,
was that your first clothes podcast?
It was the first time I had to wear clothes when I podcasted. I wasn't going to say it. You pulled it out of me. Yeah, it was. No, but it's a really fun show. And I love the fact that it's just you guys, I kind of feel like, and one of the things that drew me to it when I first started listening to it, like over the last, probably about 1.5 years ago, was when I really, maybe 2 years, was when I really started listening to it. And I kind of just felt like I was like one of your buddies hanging out with you, bullshitting. And that was what's so delightful about it, is it's just that kind of a show. Fitchip says that you hurt his feelings sometimes, but I think that's a lie, because we all know that Fitz doesn't have feelings. So I just wanted to clarify that before there's any confusion.
And again, I don't care about other people's sensitivities, so it doesn't matter if I hurt your feelings, because I don't like. It's your fault for having them.
It's your fault for having feelings.
Shit.
Oh man.
Thanks, Jen. Firmly insert us into some kind of drama.
Having an open conversation between me and Kent that other people can take part in, especially with the chat room and stuff like that, is one of the things that keeps Ritual Misery going, because the podcast with me and just me and Kent trying to be podcast people would never work out, because we're just not. We're two dudes that have known each other for going on 30 years now, and we have a lot to say, and we never agree on the big issues. We agree on all the small stuff, like, we should watch this movie, or let's talk about this. But when it comes down to like the essence of what you should be doing with your life, and where politics resides at and who's guilty on what. And if you start getting me on a conspiracy theory, and Kent will just back out completely of the conversation, the easiest way to get Kent to shut up is to talk about a conspiracy theory, because he wants no part in it at all. And I will tell you all the different sides of it. So we have a lot of differences, but we still come together, and because we like to geek out, and we're both dads, we're both going through all this stuff. We're both military, and he's gone through his retirement. I'm about to retire, and we have all these different things that just keep us talking and keep us having in common. And we like to share that with the audience. And if we weren't sharing that, you wouldn't enjoy the show, because you wouldn't feel like you were there and listening in on this conversation with your friends. And that's kind of the really the only endearing quality that Trash Fire has. I've been saying Trash Fire a lot today because it's just on my mind. I don't even know why.
I know. What's the deal today?
It's the week. It's the crazy week. I don't know.
It is. Mercury's in retrograde. It's fun.
Yeah. There you go. Mercury's in retrograde. I don't even know what that means anymore. But,
I don't know either.
like I used to study not cosmetology.
Dude, I was talking to my cosmetologist. They told me that I really have some good things happening in my 4th house, and then I need to clean up the window dressings, and I'm gonna be okay.
You ever
maybe
look at someone's eyebrows and just think Mercury's in retrograde?
I saw someone last week, and I was just like, why? It was she was so pretty, and I was like, did she seriously go in and on purpose say, make it look like I'm terrified all the time? I felt like I was being pranked. I kept waiting for her to put them back down, and no, they're just plucked.
They're just that way. All right, Ember, we've been in this podcasting game for a bit. I know you had some stuff you wanted to ask our dear guest.
Well, I'm curious about the process, and you touched on that. Something that I would reiterate that I would hand out to other people, that you're a couple guys hanging out, and it's like inviting people in and podcasting. The best podcasters is what you do. We feel like we're welcome when we're listening to you guys. It's like we're hanging out with you, and I'm glad that you also feel that that's really important for podcasting. So, what other advice would you give? You've been doing this a long time, for people that either want a podcast or they're doing it and maybe trying to get some traction. Maybe you'd have some advice.
I feel like the question is, if people want to have their very own Trash Fire, how do they get one?
Right. What's the safest way to start a really big Trash Fire?
How do you get those matches?
So the first thing you need to do is identify a proper dumpster. Okay, not any dumpster is going to do. Honestly, for us, the big thing has just been consistency. Just we may be doing it wrong, which if you look at our numbers or our Patreon and stuff like that, we've got a very small group of people that is really interested in what we're doing and how we're going about doing it. But reaching out into that broader scope, and that's just a matter of experimenting and finding something that you have in common with more and more people and sending that out there. But if you want to podcast, this sounds so stupid, and I talk to people about this all the time on Undaunted. But consistency, just keep going, just keep doing it, don't stop. Plan to fail. Know that you're going to be bad. You're going to hate listening to your own voice while you're podcasting. But if you're not listening to your own voice while you're podcasting, they're not going to listen to your voice while you're podcasting either, because you don't know how bad you sound until you know how bad you sound. And once you know that, you can improve it and you can build upon it. I had a really bad habit in the beginning of either eating the microphone or barely talking into it at all. And I had no idea.
When Jen gets excited and still red lines because she hasn't gotten used to her new mic setup yet. Yeah, I know. I feel like I know how that goes. Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a matter of being consistent, and consistency, not just on a normal release schedule, because I don't even care if you're releasing. Consistency in that you are trying something new, you're trying to be yourself, you're trying to keep your mind open for new things, and you are constantly improving your craft, no matter what the craft is. If it's making Yoshis out of yarn, which is just amazing, by the way, or learning how to speak into a microphone in a way that people actually want to listen, just keep going. Just don't stop. I mean, the first time you fail is the first time that you don't want to go on anymore. And if you stop then, you'll never know what you could have done.
Do you have some like
That's
What? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to say that's incredibly sage advice, and probably I love it. I support wholeheartedly everything you just said.
Do you have some like favorite moments or favorite, Well, I guess we don't want to do a favorite guest things. That's just rude.
No, I can go on some favorite guests because we've had some luck in.
Yeah.
I think it was episode 79-ish. We had Margaret Weiss on, the author of the
Dragonlance,
the co-creator of the Dragonlance saga. Like, we had Margaret Weiss on by Skype before we were even doing video. We were barely even on a Diamond Club channel at the time, and we got Margaret Weiss. I've read like 30 of her novels, and she was just the coolest person to talk to. Our 100th episode, we had Tom Merritt and Scott Johnson on at the same time, and all of us were sitting there. Like Scott Johnson was at BlizzCon. Tom Merritt and me and Kent were all watching the Cubs win the World Series, and then right after that, we went on to do our 100th podcast. Little moments like that. It's really cool. But
Tom Merritt's from Illinois, so that's hometown baseball happening.
Well, he's actually a St. Louis fan, so.
Oh, I do know he's a St. Louis fan. He was
totally anti-Cubs, but then he also liked the fact that they finally won. So,
Tom Merritt and I actually talked. That was like I met him at the first BlizzCon I went to. He wasn't there for the event. He was just like there to like show up at the meetup one night, and that's what we did. We talked about Illinois and baseball. That was my conversation with Tom Merritt. He's also like the nicest guy ever. Anyway, side note. But yeah, favorite moment. I'm curious what that one is. I want to hear it.
My favorite moment of all time, honestly, is it's a threefer because it's happened 3 times, and that's all 3 of our 24-hour streamathons. The first one I did solo. We raised a couple $100 for a Diamond Club family. The next one we got the community involved. We got the whole community involved, and we had 30 plus people streaming for 27.5 hours, and we ended up
I did 6 hours of streaming that year.
Right. Yeah. And we ended up raising $2,000 for children's hospitals. Then this last New Year's Eve, we raised another $2,000.
Which is awesome stuff. Like, I'm gonna throw that plug out right now too, so people know about it. DC Streamathon is the Twitch channel, and if you follow that channel, you'll be aware of anything that's happening with other events that you can watch and participate and donate money to. Look out for that channel. So yeah, DC Streamathon. I think it's an amazing project.
But that'd be my favorite thing if I had to break it down to just one event, because that's my whole dream. Though I think when you're a creator, what you want to do is have something bigger than yourself. You want to create something that goes on beyond you, and that's kind of my crowning moment right there. Is it's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, in life total, but $4,000 I wouldn't have been able to raise by myself, and I've gotten a lot of people involved with it. And Kent's helped. Like, Kent ran it this last year because I just couldn't with everything going on, and it still just keeps chugging along, and we're building towards our 4th year now, and holy crap, it's amazing. So that's kind of my favorite thing.
Yeah, we were super stoked to be a part of that. That was really amazing. That was really fun.
It surprises me how many people we've gotten into the Diamond Club fold because of that. Christy Cates kind of changed she went from music news to doing live performances because we got her on the Streamathon, and she decided to do that instead of doing news. And now she's actually, getting like this. Her channel's huge now. So
cool.
She's incredible.
Awesome. She is.
Side note, she's incredible. I just have to throw this out there. I know we probably should wrap it up because I definitely want to grill the shit out of you. So, but I do have to ask, or maybe just comment and then also ask a little bit. So I was listening to you on Black Mirror Reflections, which talking about the one of the new episodes of Black Mirror, specifically because it talks about, and again, no spoilers, but talking about technology and parenting. And I was just wondering, like, how much you being a total geek has to do with, like, your parenting. Like, are you a total nerd parent? Like, is that something that you think you do differently because you're a nerd? I mean, you take your parenting role very seriously, and it's of interest to me, that conversation.
So all of my kids have iDevices, whether they're hand-me-downs or purchased specifically for them. My son is currently grounded, so the only time he's allowed to use his computer is when he's in Blender, using and learning how to do 3D animation. That's kind of the geek parent that I am, because you're supposed to control their screen time. You're supposed to control their content and this and that. And we have a circle in the house so that we know they're not getting to like porn or anything like off the wall kind of crazy stuff without at least putting a lot of effort into it, which I'm fine with.
So you put in that much effort, sure, you get to see a titty. All right.
Right. If you're willing to go, if you're willing to turn off your Wi-Fi, turn on your cell data, and then hotspot that over to your iPad so you can watch porn on a screen that's this big, more power to you, bud. I mean, who am I to stop that?
It's funny you talk, because
ingenuity. There are easier ways.
This is my son's phone because he didn't go to school today.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a matter. I mean, I try to encourage them to use technology as much as possible, because I know that's where they're going to be. They're not going to be sitting there. I don't need them to read a dictionary. I need them to know how to look up an answer on Wikipedia and tell if it's a legitimate source or not a legitimate source. You know, that's the that's the kind of stuff that we do. And of course we do Talk Time Taste Test Tuesdays, where we sit around as a family and no electronics at the table at all. We sit there. Yeah, Talk Time Taste Test Tuesdays. We sit there for a couple hours and talk to each other and try a new beer. So, you know, we play video games. Where like tonight we're going to go to the movie. It's just however it works out to be.
That's awesome. I think it's healthy to have, like, you know what, traditions are awesome. And like I said, it really just struck me the way you handled it. You seem like you have that right balance of like, I need to keep control on things, but also like I don't need to be quite so. I don't know. Parents these days have so much access to be able to control what their kids can and want to do that then also they don't at the same time. So
it sounds like you're keeping control without being controlling.
Exactly. Well put. That's exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the things is like our Taste Test Tuesdays. We're sitting around the table and drinking beers, and my 12-year-old, my 15-year-old twins are drinking beers with us. Like, why? Because we don't want to be exclusionary. We don't want them suddenly learning what alcohol tastes like at some boy's house down the road somewhere. You know, and it's legal in the state, so fuck it.
I mean, the Germans, like, I can think of 1,000 places where, like,
right,
you're 10 and up, cool, you get a beer, or maybe 12, but usually, like, whatever. Maybe 12. I'll go have a bunch of people that are gonna be like, that's not how it is.
Yeah. No, I mean, we don't sit around and we're all throwing back a pint. We take a pint and split it up between the 8 of us. But you know, 2-3 beers of that, and I'm sitting nice and buzzed because I'm drinking the leftovers.
Well, awesome, man. Like, I absolutely, I encourage everybody to listen to the Ritual Misery podcast. I encourage everybody to check out Let's Talk About Thrones. This is a cool new project too, which we don't have too much time to get into because we all yap so much about everything because we love to talk about all our nerdy shit. But
I can wrap that one up really quickly. Let's Talk About Thrones is myself, Richard Gunther, who's never seen Game of Thrones or read the books or anything else, and Jenny Josephson, who's read the books a few times, seen the series a few times. And we're not recapping the episode. We're kind of recapping how we feel about what things go on. And Richard is trying to figure out the story and go, because he's completely unspoiled. And it's us reliving our favorite moments and going through and watching the episodes. And it's really enlightening to go back and rewatch that series when you're thinking of it critically and taking notes. It's really, really good. And that's what we do. So
it's really interesting. I rewatch it every season to get caught up before the new season starts. And I'm really glad that I do that because every season I'll just pick up so much more because of that and just have a much more interesting experience. That show is so layered. I think it's a great format for that. And yeah, that's awesome. I'm so glad you started that project. I am excited to listen for sure.
Yeah, and that comes out every time I get a chance to publish an episode.
Oh, cool. So right on schedule.
Consistency is key.
Hey, you know what? Keep putting stuff out. It doesn't have to be on a schedule. You just have to put it out.
Just keep doing
Well,
it.
now that they pushed out the final season out until 2019 or whatever, like we have plenty of time.
Right?
We have plenty of time. We can all sit there and dive into it for as long as we want over the next year and a half.
Exactly.
So if you'd like to chime in and talk to us about how cool we are, how shitty we are, how much you love us, how much you hate us, I don't know, whatever. If you want to just send me an email because you just want to say hi.
If you'd like to rate the dumpster fire.
Yes.
like to rate the dumpster fire. All right, cool. geekgrills@gmail.com. Feel free to hit us up. You can also give us a ring at 508-474-5577, where we can hear your wonderful, lovely voice, and you can, I don't know, leave a message or tell us stuff. So we've pretty much marinated the shit out of this dumpster fire, so let's grill it. Let's light this bitch up. Yeah? I'm down. So if you're not prepared, too bad. So what's going to happen here is that I'm going to throw some questions at you. And this is rapid fire, so this is just first thing that comes to mind. We're going to judge you, so I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that we're not going to judge you. It's totally going to happen. No, I'm just kidding. Awesome. So let's get you grilled. What did you want to be when you grew up, when you were a kid?
President.
Oh, that's fucking phenomenal answer.
I was going to join the military to pay for the police academy, to become a mayor, and through law school, become mayor, and then go on to become a senator and then the president.
I like how your child mind was like, the first step to that is being a mayor. That's delightful.
Hey, that's what SimCity 2000 taught me.
That's true. That's it. If you could choose to stay one age forever, what age would it be? Just one age.
24.
Interesting. Okay. What is the first thing you remember buying with your own money?
Super Nintendo Entertainment System for $149.99. I had exactly $149.99 in my pocket. My grandpa drove me to Kmart 20 miles round each way to buy it, and that's also the first day that I learned what tax was.
Saw that coming.
Oh no!
Because after tax, I was like $5 short, and Grandpa fronted me the $5.
And he was like, "Did he make you pay it back? Please tell me he made you pay it back." My grandpa.
I cut his grass for like the rest of his life, so I think I paid it back.
No, yep, well earned. If you were reincarnated as an animal, what would it be? That's not the sound the animal makes. The animal.
Oh right. Oh sorry. I would. Oh man, today's world, all the cool animals are hunted too much. Probably a German Shepherd.
That's all right. Cool. I dig it.
Fair.
What were you gonna say, Linda?
I said that's fair.
Okay, totally fair. Absolutely. If you were immortal for a day, what would you go do?
Oh, immortal for a day, I would totally be jumping off buildings.
Yeah, me too. Totally.
Yeah, and like parkour style, and with no hopes of anywhere to land. Like I would try one of those really cool parkours off of like the Empire State Building where there's no skyscrapers anywhere near it. Then just land on a car and just keep going,
Yes.
I would just do that.
I'm Spider-Man. Whee!
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, if you had to name the biographical film about your life, what would it be titled?
Underwhelming.
Underwhelming. A trash fire story about Lima. Who would write the soundtrack to that movie?
Oh, hopefully John Williams. Oh my God.
Okay. All right.
Let's get one.
There you go. All right. Well, you can join the hall of those who have been successfully grilled. Well done, sir. You have now been geek grilled. That's what Sims 2000 taught me. It's pretty much just going to be like, I'm going to start answering things with old video games I used to play as a child. Well, I would have done it differently, but back when I used to play Age of Empires 2, when you bought them.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, girls. What's up? What's on deck? What are you most anticipating? Linda, what are you looking forward to?
Well, next weekend is my next Boffer LARP, which is Garden of Destinies, which is my jazz singer. So I'm going to 20s it up again and go out and beat people in the woods with foam bats, like you do. Um, but that's gonna take all next weekend to get ready for and pack for. And then, so Among the Sleep was on sale on Steam, which, if you don't know what that is, it's a video game where you play as a 2-year-old, but it's a horror game. So you're wandering around trying to find your mom in terrifying situations as a 2-year-old with your teddy bear. So I may be streaming that. You might get to see me, fall off of my chair because, I'm yelling at a child to run away. So we'll just see where that goes. I was like, it's on sale. It's like $10. Yeah, I'll buy it. I'll be scared. I'll be a 2-year-old. Let's do this. So that may be coming up here fairly soon, actually. I may do that or start doing that right after Garden of Destinies next weekend. So
awesome.
We'll see.
That's super cool. Yeah, also that Steam sale was bullshit because I already have to deal with summer sale and winter sale, and I thought I was safe, and then I get this email. It's like 25 items on your Steam wishlist are on sale today, and I'm like, motherfucker.
Oh, I was just talking about this last week. I was just mentioning this last week. I got the notification saying an item on your Steam wishlist is for sale. So I'm at my son's orthodontics appointment. He's getting braces on. I'm checking my phone. Okay, let's see what's on sale. 90% of my wish list was on sale.
Yeah.
Like
Welcome to the summer sale and winter sale for me.
Yeah. I can't deal with this right now. I can't function with 90% of my wish list on sale. Like, this is not good.
You're putting thousands of dollars worth of metal into your kid's mouth. That probably is not really like.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Out of all the things,
that's a thing. That's definitely a thing.
I went through years of orthodontics. So my mother made me very aware of just how much money my orthodontics cost. But I've got wonderful, beautiful teeth now. Ember, what's up for you? What's on deck?
Well, like I said, I'm gonna go see Black Panther tomorrow after band practice. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I got a lot of comics I'm still trying to catch up on. Of course. It's like the story of my life.
Yes.
And my husband's going down to Orlando to record an album with his new band next week, so I'm getting really anxious, but I have to be the one parent, all for over a week. I'm a little freaking out.
I think you should like relish it and just be like, there's nobody there to question your judgment, and just make your kids understand that. Be like, there's nobody here to second guess
my judgment. I'm in charge. It's like when mom goes away. Like, I went away to Raleigh overnight, and it was like, well, I gotta go get some bachelor surprise because when you're not here, we're just gonna eat chicken nuggets and eat chips and shit. Like, that's what they get to do when mom's not here. When dad's not here, I don't know.
They get nothing fun ever. Right. They get to get more homework done and all the chores.
Right.
Pizza rolls and donuts.
Laundry and shit the right way.
Oh, man. All right. Amos, a.k.a. Anthony Lemos, a.k.a. Ethan Caine, a.k.a. You have too many names. What are you looking up? What are you looking forward to?
I feel obligated to make sure that Linda understands that Ethan Caine was actually my LARPing name. So from Vampire the Masquerade back in high school. Yeah, I'm old.
We talked about this at Nerdtacular. It was funny because we're sitting and it was we got things in common. This dude and I. We had some, and we started to find out slowly all the different things that we had in common. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to having Curly on our podcast this week. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then South by Southwest in a couple weeks. And then the guys from Lienzo have been on our podcast a few times. They are making a game called Mulaka, which releases at the end of this month. It's available for pre-order on Steam, Switch, all the devices. And they were kind enough to give me and Kent each a early access code. So I can't say anything about the game, of course, because of NDA and all that shit. But I haven't played it yet. But I'm looking forward to just sinking hours and hours into this game that we've been hearing about and talking to him about for going on 3 years now. That's awesome. That's kind of what I'm really looking forward to. And the whole idea of Mulaka is this ancient tribe, or I don't want to say tribe, it's ancient civilization that lived in Mexico that everybody had basically forgotten, even though they still exist. and they went, they kind of went through and found all this history and started building this story around it and made it this video game. And oh man, so awesome.
That sounds really
That's what I'm looking
fun.
forward to.
That's super awesome. South by Southwest is also sometimes referred to as South by So Wasted, and I hope you all have fun. I just sadly don't get to go this year, but maybe next year. We'll see how things shake out.
Well, as of right now, I have a plane ticket and a hotel, but I don't have the vacation approved yet. So
it's so funny because that's how I was determining if I go to Vegas or not. Like, okay, time off work, check. Airplane ticket, check. Hotel room, check. Okay, I can go. Like, all the things are checked.
You're just gonna call in when you're there if you're like, I'm sick.
yeah, unfortunately, that doesn't work in the military. So
I was just gonna say,
probably
the
not.
military, they're like, did you go over to the infirmary?
Yeah,
Did somebody
no.
look at you?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
You know, hope springs eternal, but not how it
Well, for
works.
me, let's see. It's going to be another week of collegiate Hearthstone, so look forward to that next Tuesday. That'll be crazy. Piloted deck, or no, next Monday. Belize is now less than 1 month away. I'm starting to get a little bit nervous now because now I'm like, oh shit, this is like really happening. My friend is moving in from California that I've been trying to convince him to move here for like 8 bajillion and a half years. I haven't lived in Tucson that long, but I've been trying to convince him for that long. And again, that's also like, it was like, maybe at the beginning of March was like a thing that was talked about before. And then yesterday I realized that he like posted on Facebook. He's like, oh yeah, I ordered the truck on the 28th. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's a little way. Nope. February is 28 days, Jen. He's going to be here like real quick. Like this is,
I can just
really
see
happening.
the initial conversations were like, you should really come to Tucson. Jen, you don't live there. But I'm going to. You should really come there.
Well, my favorite is when I go home for like family events and like I talk to like my mom's cousins and my second cousins and they're like, oh yeah, how have you been? I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm good. Like, where are you living these days? Like that's the question that your family asks you when you're not in the military. So there's really no justification for how many states you've lived in. Oh man. Walking Dead on Sunday. And look up for a live convo. Apparently Jackie Hearn and Fitz and I might be having a little sit down mental emotional preparation on Saturday, which would be super cool. So I'll make sure that everybody knows about that. And oh my God, The Walking Dead, it's back. Super excited about that. Emma, why don't you tell the fine folks what they can do for us if they want to be a part of our magical dumpster fire?
Folks, you know, right, that we are only supported by you. We need your help. Please go today to patreon.com/grills. Drop us $1. Drop us $100. But please help. We want to fix this
Amber
lag
wants
issue.
to stop paying for. Well, we like doing the podcast, but let's be honest, we pretty much cover any extra expenses so that we can do this.
We love it. We love it. And I mean, we've been investing for, a long time now. Coming up on 2 years, which I'm super excited about. But yeah, we want to hear from you. And your feedback is always welcome. We've got some updated goals. We want to have a game night and hang out with you on this stream. So please go to patreon.com/grills today. Do whatever you can.
You can also leave us iTunes reviews, which are free. If you're so inclined. They help our ranking on iTunes, which helps people find us, which is always good. Let's see, you can also join our Facebook page, and you can follow us on Twitter, and that'll just, help spread the word and have other people listen to us jatter at each other.
Yeah, and then we can have more interesting guests on, because then we can find more people. More people.
You mean fewer dumpster fires? It's okay.
And then fewer, some people are just really underwhelming when they're on your podcast. It's not my fault.
Yeah.
Oh man! All right, where can we all find you? All right. I always called you fuckos because that's like what Fitz is in the chat, so I just can't help it. Like it comes out of my mouth. Where can all the folks find you? Where do you exist?
It's easy. My name's Anthony Limos. I go by Amos, and you can find me at Ethan Caine, ETHANCAINE on Twitter. You can rewatch Game of Thrones with us on Let's Talk About Thrones, and you can celebrate all things geek on Ritual Misery and find links to all of my projects at ritualmisery.com.
Boom. Linda, where can the fine folks find you?
You can listen to me also talk about women in gaming on the Glitter Dice podcast. Also, we have episodes of Glitter Dice Plays coming out. Currently, our game is Monster Hearts. And you can find me on Twitch under the name True Noob. It's TRUN00B. That's where I do my live streams of making plushies. I am currently in the middle of a Charmander. A Charmander, yes. I have his little hand here. Hello.
I don't. I wasn't prepared for like the
Disembodied
body parts.
plushie part.
And it's even worse that there's still yarn on the backside of it, so it looks like it's dripping down.
Right?
It's like, here's the foot that I pulled off the last one to make this one.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Oh man.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine forever.
This week is crazy. All right, Ember, where can everybody find you?
I can be reached at 9 of 12. That's NINEOF12 on Twitter and Twitch. And you can hear me on the Part-Time Gamers podcast.
I can be found at the Jen Says on Twitter. Also on thejensays.com. I got real okay. I'm quick, truncated story.
You sounded like you forgot.
My friend Nate told me that he's like, you really got to get on that. Why don't you own that domain? I'm like, why don't I own that domain, motherfucker? So I get on there and I'm like searching for it, and I'm like, somebody has this fucking domain. Are you kidding me? And in between calls, like I come back and I'm looking it up, and after like finding out the detailed who is, because the person who owned the domain did a really good job of hiding their information, so people didn't know who owned it. I found out that I owned the domain already. So I own www.jensays.com.
We end on more dumpster fire talk. Good job.
I am also streaming at twitch.tv/thejenplays, and mark your calendars for Friday, March 2nd. I'm going to be on the Mind of a Geek podcast at 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. I'll make sure to send links to everybody. Come check that shit out. If you want to hang out with us live, we are here at 7:30ish Eastern time on twitch.tv/9of12 on Ember's channel. So come hang out in the chat with us. It's super fun. And thanks for listening, everyone. Good game.
GG!
GG, good game. Well played.
If you enjoyed the show and have the quill skill to shriek speech, leave us a 5-star unique critique on iTunes or thrill us with the size of your handbill by spelling goodwill into our tills at patreon.com/grills. We can also be found windmilling around Facebook and YouTube at facebook.com/geekgrills and youtube.com/geekgrills, where we like to chill. Tweet your siren songs where the throngs belong on Twitter at geekgrills, where we're dressed to kill. For more info on the show, though, go to geekgrills.com, where you can find previous episodes, show notes, and current contest information. Send us your psalms and qualms to geekgrills@gmail.com, or give us a ring at 508-474-5577, where we can hear your lovely voice sing the zing thing. Thanks for listening.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
Cool.
God King in chat room says, don't play him in pool on Facebook. He'll kick your ass, and that's true. Because I'm pretty damn good. Yeah.
Is it like the old Yahoo pool game? Because me and one of my college buddies, man, we used to throw down on that shit. Like that shit was like a legit competition between he and I. That was dangerous.
It's not bad. It's really not bad. Yeah. I don't see the only way to win, but one of the primary ways to win is to give up your shot because you know you're not going to make it or whatever, and to like park the cue ball behind some other balls that don't need to be moved. Yeah.
Have you ever watched snooker?
Yes. Okay, I love watching snooker.
My boyfriend is super into watching snooker now, like all the time. And so finally, I watched it a little bit before, and I used to love billiards growing up because my grandfather made me learn how to shoot pool. And he teaches you the important things: how to play poker, how to shoot pool, and how to raise sheep. Super useful. So I had like a passing.
I mean, all three will get you laid.
That's true. It has. Unbeknownst to my grandfather. No, anyway. So But I had watched snooker before, but I actually was like, okay, I need to actually fucking understand this shit. And now I'm like, now that I understand it, like we sat there and kind of watched it on YouTube and like broke it down, and now I'm kind of obsessed with it, and I get why he likes it so much. So now I'm watching too much snooker.
It's interesting, and it's way better than what's that cricket? Cricket?
No,
Croquet?
which one is that? The one where you're trying to do like the
cricket, where they have the bat and the little things that go like, and they throw the ball all funny, and,
Is that the
and
English
you run
one?
back and forth.
It's the
like they
English.
gotta go to the
The
bathroom.
English one, yeah. That's
and-
cricket.
Yeah, that's definitely cricket.
Yeah, I don't get that. I've had people try to explain that to me, and they just
Do you want me to quote the Ninja Turtles movie about how you have to understand what a crumpet is before you can understand cricket?
yeah.
That was really fun. Thanks for coming on. Now we gotta get your friend on here too. So Kent's up next. He's dodging and dipping and dodging my tweets, yo. What the hell? Normally he's like the most responsive ever, so I'm guessing he's not on furlough anymore.
You know,
Poor guy.
I don't know which like sometimes furloughs mean different things to him. I think.
Well, but he didn't get to work for a while. I know I have friends that work in the government, and they were like, "Oh, yep, no, we're not working, but now we are working. Now we're not." Just kidding.
Yeah. You find out on Sunday night that you're not working Monday morning.
Basically, I mean, it's better than when I used to get EWOPed at my last job, which is what is it? EWOP. It was employee
Employed without
went
pay.
home. Yeah, employed. No, it's like employee went home or went out without pay. Yeah, basically it means that I get told that there's too many people working and then I don't get to work, but I'm already at work, so I get sent home, which used to piss me off because I worked at a call center and I was getting paid such shit. Like it was like one of the worst paying jobs I've ever had, like since I've been out of college, and it was actually costing me more to drive the 12 miles to work and then back home. I was actually losing money because I was getting EWOPed every day. And like, it's okay, we're going to start doing it as a lottery so that everybody does it. Well, apparently that's the only time I win the lottery, every day.
So do we want to talk about title ideas?
Underwhelming,
Well, we're
the
all
Dumpster
here.
Fire by Anthony Lemos.
I have
Episode 79 of Geek
I have a
Girls.
list here. I have notes that say Naked Snail. Settlers of Catan Skype edition, which I really love. When You Wish Upon a Podcast.
Yeah, when you wish upon. I was proud of that line, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm fucking gonna quote
there
the
was-
shit. I'm gonna
yeah.
quote the Jen.
And the Science Happens. I took a note there, and chat seemed to enjoy that.
We can't use soft 4 inches. I think we've already had a penis reference this month. I'm only good for like one every quarter or so.
Yeah,
Only
yours was
one penis a month. Is
It
that
was
it?
a foreskin. team, now we're
Foreskins.
screwed.
Yeah, now we're
Foreskin
screwed.
team, we're screwed.
I just published last week's Ritual Misery, and it was red pilling the Me Too movement.
Yeah, in fact, I just saw that, and I'm like, oh shit, crap. This is going to be interesting.
I'm expecting to get some love mail on Twitter for that one.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
I
I also
skipped
am a
that
fan of
one.
White Pool White, which was a good title. Thanks to Jackie Hearn.
What was that?
Remember, you cut out. I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry. I totally talked
I
over
didn't
you.
hear you. That's why I was asking what she
Oh,
said.
I was saying when Jackie Hearn was on Ritual
yeah.
Misery, Kent was talking about the results of his Ancestry.com like DNA thing, and basically he just found out that he's just really super fucking white. So Jackie was like, "So you're white people white instead of white people rich, like we normally sing it at Brian Brushwood." I died. I fell out my chair, and Jackie's like, "I guess nobody got that joke." And I'm like at home. I'm like, "No, I get the joke, Jackie."
Yeah. Steaming pile of Venus.
Steaming garbage pile of Venus.
I don't want to do that. That's
I still
terrible.
like underwhelming the dumpster fire story by Anthony Lemos.
I'm good with that.
I need to
Underwhelming
find
what?
We need to find
It's
somebody
really
to
long,
Photoshop
guys.
the cover.
What?
Oh no, I think When You Wish Upon a Podcast, if we're gonna be legit, I think When You Wish Upon a Podcast would be my vote. Not because I said it,
Yeah.
but because it's actually kind of appropriate because you're a podcaster.
Also,
but
I'm real
in my heart-
interested. I'm real interested to know if I actually managed to clip the mic with yelling because I think that may have been the
Good
only
time.
time.
That's okay.
No, it was
I do it
okay.
every time, so you're allowed to do it sometimes. Man, I gotta get used to this new setup. Honestly, like I feel like it's like I'm redlining and then I'm not, and then I'm too quiet and I can't seem to find the
You're
balance. So I
really-
gotta get my
Okay most of the time, but when you do redline, it outright like oh, it's
right,
awful.
and that's why I get frustrated because it shouldn't be happening like that. And part of it is that I'm not. My feedback isn't coming back to me. My audio, my ability to listen to my own audio, isn't working, and it should be. And I need to fuck with my mixer and make that happen.
Mm. I don't even know how I got to where I am with my mixer. It's just literally random experimentation for like 2 hours uninterrupted on a Saturday morning while everybody else slept, and
The fact that
it
it
just
even
works.
works is good for me. Yeah, that's pretty much.
And now I have this old first generation iPod Touch that its entire job is to play royalty free jazz.
Oh, Jen, I wanted
Yeah.
to mention
That's me.
I got an awesome offer from Adobe. So I, for like $6 more than I was paying, have the entire fucking suite.
I just bought the student version where I get it for super cheap,
Oh,
and I got the entire suite.
yeah.
That's what I did, and then after the year, it only goes up by $10. So it's like $30 a month for the whole suite.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
what
I
I
just
just did.
I got mine for 20 as a student, but I had to like verify my email and shit. But I
And
just signed up
finally
for it
offered
because
it
I was like,
to
I need
me, so.
audition. I just installed it last night. I was gonna tell you that. I forgot to tell you that.
Okay.
Here
All
you go.
right.
Trying to remember my Twitch password.
If Ember is able to go see Black
Anything, yeah.
Panther,
He hears his own jazz. I don't hear his jazz. Do you hear his
Yeah.
jazz? I don't hear
No,
his jazz.
I don't hear his jazz.
I don't hear your jazz. Where's your jazz, man? Oh, there it is.
yeah, I hear it now.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, are we gonna do a spoiler episode next week?
Yeah.
I really think we haven't done a spoiler episode in a long time, and it's totally worth it. There's so much for me to talk about. Also, I would like to note that going to see that with my essentially black boyfriend and his opinions and feelings about all of that was very interesting.
I'm going
and-
with my blended family. So
Yeah. That was his quote. Is he was just like, "Hey, going with
I'm going, and
the black guy."
Redneck is
Cool.
saying USA here, so it'll probably be just me and my husband in the theater again. Like when most of the time when we go to a nerd
You
movie
really
in
think so?
Statesville. It's usually pretty. I mean, there might have
my
been
God.
people on opening weekend.
I was so focused on talking about the asshole at the theater, I totally forgot. So I found out that there's a Wakanda, Illinois. You want to know how I found out? Because I was talking to somebody who lived in Wakanda, Illinois today at work,
Right
and I was
on.
like, "Whoa, mind blown!" Like I had to screen cap the little tiny bit that just said the city and send it to Ventura. So I had
Cool.
somebody who knew that it really happened, and I had proof, like evidence of it. It's not quite spelled exactly the same, but it's totally Wakanda, Illinois. That was funny.
That's pretty awesome.
well, ladies, speaking of the movie,
yeah.
I need to go so I can go watch it.
Yes, enjoy, and thanks for coming on,
Thank
man. It was
you.
rad. We'll let you know once we push it out there so you can retweet that shit. And I will chat with you probably on Discord anyway.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably
We
raid
get-
someone,
we-
so I'm gonna stay on after
We has
hang up.
project.
Yes.
All right.
Good
peace out,
projects
ladies.
indeed. Have a good night. Have fun.
Thank
Night.
you.
All right, ladies. We're gonna spoiler in time this shit. Well, I guess we're gonna steal like spoiler in time. I keep thinking that because I've listened to it every week and I just want to say it over and over again. But what's the last spoiler show we did? Episode.
We've
was
only
it-
done
was it
one. We did Wonder Woman.
We did Wonder Woman. It's been a long time. I know we did Suicide Squad. We did Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad, the
That wasn't
Warcraft
really a-
movie.
Was that a spoiler episode?
We did Suicide Squad.
Ah, okay.
It was also me trying to explain to people that comic book movies aren't fine literature and to calm the fuck down and just enjoy the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So for that was obviously before I was on the show, but like the Warcraft movie, we like a group of us like got it. It was already out of theaters, so we got it on like Netflix and we put it in. And as the movie is going on, my friend Nigel, who like knows the lore inside and out, is explaining things as the movie's going on, like this is what is happening and why, and this is why it's going this way, and this is a little bit different, but it's okay. And like, I was like, I have just learned an entire history. What just happened?
So what do we want to tell our viewers to raid with? Thanks, Fitch. We're gonna raid Mike TV though.
a flame.
A
Raid
flame?
with a flame. Dumpster fire.
I don't know if I
Girls
have a flamey
dumpster fire is
icon.
coming to you.
If you have a
I like-
flamey icon.
How we just say, I don't know. Because something about a dumpster fire is appropriate. I don't know what though.
I don't know.
Also, I apologize for startling you with the hand.
Dude, I was like, what the fuck? It's just like fucking animal parts coming out. And he's right, it was because a little string was hanging off.
Yes.
Oh, it's like a decapitated, like, or de-limbed, like.
But here's his body with his little nose. And his arm goes right there.
By the way, your Yoshis look so good.
Yeah, well, after making 9 of them, they've gotten very good.
They're really good when you've made 18,000 Yoshis.
Oh, man.
You should see the awesome
let's just raid
shirt
with,
I got for Rob. So.
What do you got?
There's this lady who makes these awesome shirts. She was at the Statesville Con again, and we ordered it and arrived a few days ago. It's like that, bowling store shirt style with fabric inserts, and the fabric I picked it's got zombie pinup girls on it. It's
Aww. Here, do you want to raid? Are we gonna raid Mikey? Mike TV Live?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's raid Mike TV Live with this. I don't know. Something about a dumpster fire. What do you say? Oh, type A personality raid from the Geek Grills. Done. We're doing it just because it makes me laugh.
Okay. I don't know what that
All
means.
right.
Okay,
Type
bye.
A personality raid.
Why is... Oh, yes. Weird. Okay.
All right, let's
Later,
do it.
girls.
Let's go share our love with my TV. And then, awesome. Thanks for hanging out, guys. It was really fun having people in chat. We'll keep getting more and more people in chat now that people know like when we're recording and stuff. Super awesome. Oh, by the way, M-Beam did some awesome fucking shit for me this week. He helped me with, I needed like a better layout for some things. Super good.
Cool. All right, I'm going to hang up the Skype so my Twitch works better and then do the raid.
All right.
Okay.
So that's bye to them. Thanks, everyone, for coming. Love you. Bye.